This is the new Ford F-150 Lobo, 2025, and I'm in a studio in Los Angeles. For exclusive and limited access to present you this new version of the Ford F-150. And yes, it's called Lobo, like the one in Mexico. Did they copy it? But I promise you, this one is totally different and you're going to love it. The engine hidden under this hood is one that this type of crowd loves, the street truck crowd. So get ready because what I'm about to show you hasn't been shown by anyone else. Welcome. This Ford F-150 Lobo version stands out from the rest with its exclusive features, as seen from the front. Nothing else. Look, the front grille is a design that has been reserved only for this Lobo version, the prominent black Ford logo. It couldn't be any other way. And look at this light, or this set of lights, 4 in total, LED lights that complement and converge together with the front daytime running light. In a way, I think it's really well done, formidable in itself, to give it that sinister, mysterious look that a street truck deserves. And in this black color, agate really looks very good. Now pay attention to what they've done with the front bumper, because you won't see this bumper anywhere else, nowhere else. Ford F-150 with a special honeycomb design for good functionality. Everything is black because it's the predominant color in this truck. It couldn't be otherwise. It has other color options that I'll mention later, but this one is black. That's it. I believe it accurately represents their goals with this project. Lobo. This one looks really good when it's crossing, for example, alleys that I'm showing you there, with that mystery, that presence. An alley in the city of Los Angeles. The Ford Lobo street truck. The F-150. That's really where it shines the most. And on both sides, obviously, of the front bumper. You're going to see the integration of the fog lights. Now let's look at the wheels, which is another aspect. You're also going to love this in this new Lobo version. Here we have tires that cover 22-inch rims. Yes, they're big as it couldn't be any other way. The imposing black color and exclusive design of the Lobo set it apart from other Ford F-150 models, catching your attention. Will you find them? 275 the tire, 275 wide, and 50 profile. Tell me in the comments, what do you think about these rims? And to give the final touch to the front part, look at the hood, the engine cover. Look here, integrated vents. That gives it a great aggressive look. It also has a certain visual connection with Ford. Maverick, the Lobo I showed you from Santiago, is a unique version that no Ford F-150 will have. Am I discussing the hood specifically? Additionally, this F-150 Lobo has special details. This emblem or badge is also exclusive among everything it has been. This special design for a new Ford F-150 with a very street style, very much a truck. Well, and if you're wondering, in terms of engine, what does this new Ford F-150 Lobo come with? What I can tell you is that it comes with an engine that those who love street trucks really like. And that V8, which has so many fans, is also present under that hood. The engine isn't really anything different. It comes with the V8, the 5.0 liters, the same one that gives you 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque, of linear torque, coupled to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it already comes with the automatic 2-speed 4-wheel drive system. Just to complement the whole engine experience in this new Ford Lobo. And if you're wondering what's going on in the back, what's different between this Ford F-150 Lobo and a regular F-150 or the STX, which uses the same platform? Well, we have a bumper that you won't see on the STX. This one has a different design with some different cuts, and also one of the effects. One of the most noticeable things is the dual exhaust pipe, because the STX only comes with one as standard, but here it has 2. And look at the shape. I mean, the exhaust, or both exhausts, come in that black tone that gives it a sportier touch. The taillights are still the same as those on the STX, really the same here, but it's the same taillight that was introduced. The latest F-150 update maintains the same appearance. The rear camera is excellent, being part of the F-150's crucial peripheral vision system. Let's take a look at it. The Ford logo here in black, with the F-150 engraving, and the bed itself doesn't have any changes or modifications for this version. Lobo. However, you have your electrical connections, the 120-volt outlet, and a bed that's very functional. One of the most interesting things that gives it the street truck identity and puts the cherry on top is coming up next. You'll notice right away that it has a lower suspension than a regular F-150. Why? Because they've lowered the rear by 2 inches, and that makes it look closer to the ground. It's one of those things that a lot of people, the kind of buyer who goes for this style of pickup truck, looks to add or tries to make those modifications on their own. Here, Ford has already done this for you. They've made these modifications and offer them to you in a single package called the Ford F-150 Lobo. But what's different about this Ford F-150? Inside in the Lobo version? Because in the Maverick Lobo, they made some changes and added some accents to the interior. Things like, for example, do you remember the integration of the Nike sneaker style I was telling you about? If you haven't seen the video, it provides details about the interior, materials, and colors. Let's check if they did something similar in this Ford F-150 Lobo's cabin. We have a good integration of technology and functionality, with a central screen surrounded by the air conditioning vents that looks great. Digital screen with all the technological integration it has for towing, all the apps, the integrations, let's say, for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all that, and let's say very useful information. We have the module where the physical controls are integrated, not digital ones, for the climate and also for the radio stations and also for the camera. We have it there, obviously. Here we have a bit of darkness, so you won't be able to see much over there. But we do have the traction control. Here we also have integrations for a 12-volt port and a 120 outlet. There we have an additional compartment. Up here above the glove box, I find this very useful. The seats have stitching in a lime green color, fabric seats in gray, which look good. I think it's a nice design. The back part is also uniform, in harmony, let's say, like what we have here in the front part. This, which many trucks no longer have, is for placing coins, though rarely used now. Here, you have your four-wheel drive control. The steering doesn't change. It's basically the same as in all F-150s, just like the dashboard itself. There's nothing new about this cabin layout. It's basically the same cabin you get in an F-150 STX model. So it doesn't have any Nike integrations in the seats, in the colors, or any kind of additional or special accessory for the interior. All the changes are out there on the exterior. But why did they call this version of the F-150 Lobo? Well, Ford already knows perfectly well. Ford here in the United States knows perfectly well where that name comes from, where that name was used. Yes, in Mexico. And if I'm not mistaken, since 1997, the Lobo already exists or existed, or the concept of the Ford Lobo was born in Mexico. And have they brought it to the United States? Yes, they've taken the inspiration, they've brought it over, but they're presenting it with a radical transformation. It's not the same concept as the F-150 or the Mexican Ford Lobo. It's a transformed pickup, presented as a street truck with a street style to appeal to a specific market that likes that kind of truck. Let me know in the comments what you think about Ford taking inspiration from the name and presenting a different concept with the Ford F-150 Lobo. But there's something or one thing that really intrigues me, and that's what will happen with this Lobo in the future. Will they bring us a more aggressive, more striking version later on, or what will they bring in the future? Maybe a Ford Lobo, a Ford F-150, a hybrid Lobo, or maybe a fully electric version. I like to ponder these questions in advance to anticipate the future. I'm already considering potential outcomes, but they're only releasing it now. That's the concept they've presented, so that when the buyer takes it out of the dealership, it's already ready to attract attention. That's why it specifically appeals to that type of buyer. And now it's your turn. I want you to rate the Ford F-150 Lobo. The Lobo from here, the American Lobo. The Lobo from the United States, not the Mexican Lobo, but this street version. Pickup. Is it really a truck to take it to the extreme? Let me know in the comments. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? If you like this pickup truck, you'll also like the video about the Ford Maverick Lobo. And you'll be able to see it, because I'll leave it for you right here, linked. How similar is it, or is it not similar at all, between the Maverick Lobo and the F-150 Lobo? See you in the next video. Leave a comment. Bye.